Hey, I'm Dave Watkins, Watkins Films. Now, here we are in the week of Thanksgiving. And what I want to do over the next few days is I want to review some Thanksgiving movies, some movies that take place on Thanksgiving. And I've selected three that I've found. Now, two of them I'd seen before. Now, one of them I haven't seen. But all three of them are kind of family dramas that take place on Thanksgiving, and the family gathers and things happen. One of them kind of leans a little bit more towards comedy, and the other two lean more towards drama or psychological drama. The first one we're going to talk about today is, now this is the first time I've ever seen this film, and I hadn't heard about it before I started doing some research into films that take place around Thanksgiving, and it is called The Humans. This is based on a one-act stage play. Now, this is a 2021 film based on a stage play that originated in 2015. It's a one-act play. I'm not sure how long the actual stage play is when it's on stage, but the film here is, I think, around an hour and 45 minutes, so they had to have made it longer, because I would think a one-act play would be somewhere between, it would probably be around 40 minutes, maybe longer, but they've extended it in a way. I think that, and that's one thing about the film that I didn't like. It is kind of drawn out. But even though everything's kind of shot here in a very artistic way, but I'm going to get a little bit more into those details in just a bit. I want to talk a little bit about the setting and the characters and what the story kind of sets up first. So it takes place in Chinatown, New York, in Manhattan, in a rundown apartment where a family gathers for Thanksgiving. The family consists of the dad comes first and the dad. I think it shows Richard Jenkins plays Eric, the dad, and he's in the apartment looking around like, man, what a dump is what he's thinking. He's just looking at different things around. There's water damage in the apartment. Now the water damage it's in the flood zone area, and it's close to ground zero of 9/11. Now this character, Eric, played by Richard Jenkins, he was in a parking deck near 9/11, and he saw some of the stuff that happened that day, and he has PTSD from that event. And here he is having Thanksgiving near where that happened. So this is his daughter's apartment, his daughter Bridget. He has another daughter named Amy, but his daughter Bridget and her husband Richard, played by Stephen Yeun, who played Glenn on The Walking Dead, they live in this apartment that they're visiting. And then the mom comes in with the grandmother. The grandmother's suffering from Alzheimer's disease, and she's in a wheelchair. They have to push her in, and she rarely talks. She says words often that don't make a lot of sense. The mom here is played by Jane Howdyshell. Now, Jane Howdyshell is the only actor in this movie who was also in the Broadway production of the play, and she does a really damn good job. But really, I think all the actors do a good job, and I guess they could have had the actors from the show be in it, but that does have I think Richard Jenkins kind of, when I first saw, and Stephen Yeun, and Amy Schumer plays the other daughter named Amy, but having those actors in the film was kind of what made me want to see it more, because I'd recognized their work. And I think if it had just the actors who were in the original stage play, even though I don't think this movie hasn't done all that good, but having those name actors who've been in other stuff, and I've enjoyed their performances and other things, it made me want to see the movie more. In this apartment that's run down throughout the movie, light bulbs go out in different rooms, and they don't have replacement light bulbs. It is Thanksgiving, and they can't really leave to go get light bulbs, so it's kind of an odd thing that happens throughout the play. Now, the movie and the original stage play has some weird atmosphere going on. It almost feels like it could be a horror movie, but it's not. But it has that kind of feel to it, and the place feels like it's a really small apartment, but throughout it feels very claustrophobic like. And even like sometimes, like with somebody especially earlier on, like, so there's like one shot where somebody's standing there and another person walks into the shot, and it's like almost does that boom, just kind of make you jump, kind of get you that feel. But then they keep hearing weird sounds from other apartments up above them, which happens when you're in an apartment. But it's just kind of a kind of an odd build up throughout the film that makes you think there's maybe something else going on other than what you're seeing. Most of what you see here is a family drama. Now, and there's as with the typically with a play. Now I've been in a lot of plays before, so I kind of recognize the kind of structure of this family stuff, but it does kind of pay off for the characters. Now I think this probably it would play a lot better on a stage than it does in the film. Like some of the character drama that is very meticulously written out throughout the play. As the dad character is, the way he acts from the beginning until you find out what is a bit of a, I guess, a character revelation near the end of it that kind of changes things a little bit. But it's not something that in a film, it's not like a huge twist, but it is a character development. And I think that on a stage, in that intimacy of the characters would play a lot better. Not that it plays bad here. Now, the way that it's shot, I mean, this is a very artistically shot film. The place that they're shooting in is fairly small, but there are several floors, and there's an upstairs, and then there's a downstairs, and then there's a kind of an alley thing that goes to the kind of foyer area. So they do have different spots throughout the apartment. But it's shot in a way like say for instance, it'll frame the doorway, and it'll hold a shot for a long time. It's often shots are held for a really long time. There's very rare like your traditional coverage in any scene. And there would be like a scene there would be like a shot of, let's say, the mom sitting at the table, and it's about like this type of shot, and you see people walking in, and she's talking to people on the other side of the table, but it kind of just hangs on this shot for like a long time, and it'll do that a lot, and and so I guess it works. Sometimes the film almost feels like you're like I guess kind of voyeuristic, like you're watching somebody else's Thanksgiving gathering. And it has an odd feeling to this film. And if you look here, see the way the walls are like kind of really gray, and everything's kind of, it's almost like there's also a kitchen area inside the apartment, but it almost feels very not really clinical, but it feels kind of really drab throughout the film. There's never that kind of a joyful Thanksgiving celebration. And there are some parts in the film dealing with the mother who has Alzheimer's, especially there's a letter read that she wrote before she was in a really bad state. That's a pretty powerful letter, and that's a powerful scene. Now, it doesn't seem like a lot happens in the film throughout. A lot of times it's like, what is going on? What's this film about? And what's the point? But really a lot does happen, but it happens in small doses, and it's all character in a way. And there's a kind of a buildup of this PTSD within Richard Jenkins' character that kind of at the end there's a pretty cool scene near the end that for a moment there I thought it was going to take it into like some kind of weird horror or sci-fi direction, but it stays within a drama thing, and it ends in a very artistic way. But it ends nicely, but it's not the type of film. This isn't the type of film I'm probably going to be breaking out on many other Thanksgiving. I think the problem with it is just it is slow going, and it's not that fun to watch. I do appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate what the filmmakers were doing with it. I do like the characters. I like the acting, and I do like even the script. I do like the ideas behind it. I just think that it is kind of a bit of a slog when you're watching it. But let's go ahead and take a look. Not there's a lot to look at, but this is a nice slipcover here. And here's the inside. I do want to point this out. Rotten Tomatoes. I don't like seeing that on the front of stuff. It's like I don't want them to tell me what to think about this film. They want to certify it as fresh. I don't know. It's annoying to me. I don't like it. And on the inside, you just have a Blu-ray disc. This is a Blu-ray. It looks good as far as the transfer and stuff. I think that if you put it into 4K, it might uptick the quality a little bit, but it's not going to matter that much. I think it might bring the blacks up. You might see a little bit more detail and things of that nature. But this is very artistically shot. The lighting is it's not that natural of a lighting. Everything just feels very weird when you're watching this film in a way you think something's like really crazy could happen. But as it gets further into it, it becomes pretty obvious that it's not something real crazy is not going to happen. It's just you're observing this family's get together on Thanksgiving. But I'm glad I watched the film, and there's not a lot of films that I've found that take place during Thanksgiving, especially ones that really focus on the family situation here. I really think the acting here is top notch by the whole cast, especially the mom played by Jane Howdy Shell. She is an amazing performance, especially when she reads the letter from the mom who has Alzheimer's. So I'm gonna go ahead and rate the film. I'm gonna rate the movie 3. I gotta give it a 3. Leaning towards a 3.5. But the packaging's fine. I'm going to give it maybe a 3.5. I don't like the Rotten Tomatoes on the front. I do like the slipcover, and the cover's good. It kind of has there's this scene with the family around the table. Now there's one scene that's all done in one shot, and it kind of just goes around the table. Now they do this tradition thing where they have this pig thing that's a candy pig, and they put it inside of a bag, and they go to each person, and then they say what they're thankful for, and then they hit the pig, and by the time they get to the end of it, it's cracked enough that they can eat parts of it. So that's a pretty cool scene, and it's a pretty cool movement around the table, the way that they're able to move the camera and have it land in the places that it needs to when it needs to. Anyway, if you've seen this film, let me know what you think about it. And if you haven't done so already, if you would subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm Dave Watkins. Thanks for watching.